Hey y'all, I'm here with a quick video on Diddy. At this point, they're making this thing a full-blown circus. A full-blown circus with the clowns, the popcorn, the cotton candy, the acrobats, all of that. Making it a full-blown circus. High-level agencies are involved. Homeland Security, the FBI, local police departments, in states from here to there, probably all 50 states, who knows, right? Looking into this one man they call Diddy. The thing is, everything he's being accused of, he didn't do it solo. So I'm going to really need them to start naming other names that say they're looking into these people also because they had something to do with it. And I want to say this: many people, this Diddy conversation is a conversation where all of us, including myself, there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of, like it's going to happen this day, it's going to happen that day, whatever the case may be. I want you to know, for my part in this situation and covering these stories, I don't care to be right. I don't say that I got all the information. I'm the end all be all. And in addition to that, everything that I say when I'm saying things is me connecting dots in my own head, but I'm not 10 toes down that I'm 100% the end all be all, and that what I say or said is going to be what happens. My thought on this situation is it runs deep, and I'm sure that's everybody's thought, right? The problem I have with this situation is that now that the chips have fallen, everybody's coming out with their Diddy stories saying he is a horrible man and he's been horrific and these are the things he did to me. And, they're giving, if I say excuses, people are going to get emotional, but they're giving their reasoning behind why they continued to work with him and didn't say anything. But now that he's fallen down in the rabbit hole and he's all the way down there, he's drowning, he's half gone. He's half gone. And let me be clear and say this: I am in no way, shape, or form on Diddy's side. This man seems very sinister, very dark, and I got to meditate and cleanse myself every time I do a Diddy story. But what I'm saying is that there are some that worked with this man once and they never went back, because they knew who he was, and what he was doing. There are others that justified the reason why they stayed, and they ignored or participated in all the dirty deeds and activities that he did. So now they're telling their story, and they're telling their story in a version that kind of makes them seem so innocent. Like, I was forced, I was this, I was that, and I stayed in this for years and collected the money and accepted the money. But he's the dirty one. I'm innocent. That's the piece of it that is on shaky ground for me. So I use myself for example. Let's say I was working for Diddy. I couldn't have been one of the S workers because I ain't the type for to be that one, right? But let's say I was the housekeeper and I'm seeing stuff. I'm seeing illegal activity. Do you know and I'm sure it's different in the entertainment world, but when you're in corporate America and all of that, you take all of these courses, see something, say something. Something that's not right, you tell corporate compliance or whatever. When you in the entertainment world, something's not right, you leave that situation, tell the cops, or why would you sit there and participate year after year after year, especially when you're seeing human beings get hurt, especially when you're potentially seeing where the human being is not an adult, it is a child, and they are getting hurt. And you decide, I'm not going to say a word. But now that everybody else is talking, me, let me tell you my Diddy horrific story. Although I worked for him for 20 more years, although I kept getting money from him, although I danced in a video with him, although I filmed him, although I interviewed him, although I did all of these things with him, I knew that he was doing all of this on the side, and I turned a blind eye to that. Why? Because I needed to work. I needed to eat dinner at night. That's the piece that is confusing to me. The other piece that's confusing to me is they keep coming out and telling us about all of these S workers that are adults that were on the payroll. Somebody that knows the law, not speculating. If you're watching this video, you're in my chat and you know the law. I'm trying to understand how, if I agree to be a worker for him, and I'm a full-blown adult, I'm not talking about underage, and I'm a full-blown adult, and he says, do you want to be a worker? And I go, how much? And he says 300, 400K a month. And I say, okay. There's so many of those stories coming out now. It's Young Miami. What's the name? Daphne Joy. It's this other girl here. What is her name? Jade Rami or whatever her name is. All said workers. I mean, this man must have been throwing out $2 to $3 million a month on paid as workers. That's what it seems like. And so, but I'll go back to my point of, if I'm an adult who is okay and I accept the money, I'm trying to see where the story is in that. That's why I'm saying I feel like they're making a circus out of this thing, and they're not trying to distract us from the task at hand. The task at hand is figure out and come for those individuals that were knee deep in this situation with Diddy. But instead of doing that, they're throwing distraction techniques out to all of us because they know the world likes sensationalism. So they're throwing out so we won't think about the bigger task at hand here. They're throwing out, oh my God, he paid this one. She was an S worker. This one was an S worker. That one was an S worker. They was getting $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month. All the names and the stories they're throwing out thus far are adults. So I feel like at this point, they're treating us like we're not critical thinkers. We're straight stupid. And we're going to buy into all of the sensationalism, where the bigger picture is for me. So I think, in my thoughts, are there is a whole ring, allegedly. Diddy, maybe he was or was not the ring leader, but there are other important high-level people that helped, participated, funded some of this, benefited from some of this, and were part of the problem. And we're not hearing any stories about them. Every story that happens to make it to some type of media platform is about Diddy. Now, I want to be clear, Case, because sometimes people be in the comments, they hear what they want to hear. Let's be very clear. Diddy needs to pay for everything he did, wholeheartedly, 100%. But this man was not in these parties alone. This man, in my opinion, did not fund this situation alone. This man had help high and low. And all of these individuals that were helping, participating, and doing whatever they did, they need to pay. How many informants do you need so you can give all of those informants immunity to get this one man? In my mind, they have enough evidence and information to get Diddy. But before they do it, they want to play with our head and our mind and throw out all these smoke screens. Oh, there was a sex worker. Oh, was this? Oh, was that? Oh, the drug mill was arrested. He was arrested. And I'm not saying this is a number with 5 pills in his bag and some Mary Jane. Because if it was that deep, y'all would have told us he had a whole slew of substances. The man got out on a $2,500 bond. Stop playing games with us, Homeland Security. Stop playing games with us, FBI. Stop playing games with us, NYPD. Southern District, whoever. If you really want to do a shutdown, you really want to do a lockdown, you really want to get these predators off the street so they can stop exploiting the young girls and the young boys, take everybody down. Because what happens is, because you see, the Epstein left, but there was still the Diddy. The Weinstein left, but it's still the Diddy. And when the Diddy leaves, there will still be But if you start the process of just taking the one person down as the fall and the scapegoat and letting all of these other people know that, you know what, we know you, we see you, and you going down with the big guy, that's how we're going to begin to stop the nonsense. There was people hanging with Epstein. He took the fall. He was the fall guy. There's many people hanging with Weinstein. He took the fall. He was the fall guy. You see that documentary that they recently did, I want to say on Nickelodeon, and the young kids were saying, you know, this is how they was treated, and this, that, and the other. A whole bunch of people in that entertainment industry needs to go down. I'm not against them going after Diddy, but they're doing it sloppy, in my opinion, right now. And I think they're doing it sloppy to play with our minds so we won't think about all the other individuals who they need to be raiding their homes right now, too. Am I shocked to hear about Cuba Gooding Jr.? No. And you want to know why they're okay with releasing his name? Because even before this Diddy thing, Cuba had cases and situations where he got busted off on his own doing stuff to people. So to hear Cuba Gooding Jr.'s name in these situations, it's not shocking to anybody. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, listen, this man been doing this on the street for a minute, allegedly. So they're throwing out names they want to throw out, and all the names they don't want to throw out, they got them in a box and some ashes and burnt them up somewhere. They need to stop playing in our faces. Now, let me go ahead and share screen. Sick of them playing in our faces. You know, I was talking to a girlfriend, and we're trying to dissect this thing on our own level, on a different level. I'm like, what is the crime? Now, I wouldn't do it, but this is me. But I'm trying to say, what is the crime if two adults agree you're going to hang out with me every month? You're going to do whatever I want you to do sexually. I'm going to pay you. And that's that. I'm not forcing you. I'm not harming you. You agree. I agree. Your check is going to hit your account every month. And boom, that's it. They're throwing all of that out as a smokescreen. If you want to tell me that the girl was hired as this and she was helping get the young kids, talk to us so we can have a conversation. And we about to put out a restaurant or woman or raid her house too, talk to us. We're not being crazy here. You need to talk to us. So the latest one is, but there's many. This particular story, there's 1,000 others, right? Because now everybody is coming out the woodworks. You got dancers coming out. I got a horrible story with him. You got this one coming out. I got a horrible story with Diddy. Not shocking, because behind the scenes, way before this bombshell lawsuit came out with Cassie, we heard about all the sinister things that Diddy allegedly was doing. You remember the story that when one of his kids was going to UCLA, he got mad that the kid didn't get no basketball time on the court, and he took allegedly took what is that, a dumbbell or a kettlebell, which they are, I don't know how the person lived if you hit them with a kettlebell, but those things are extremely heavy, even if you get the 10-15 pound one, and allegedly beat a coach up. So Sean Diddy Combs allegedly paid Instagram model Jade, what is her name, Rami, monthly stipend for S work, lawsuit states. Again, I need to know more about these laws. I'm trying to dig into things. I've been calling people that kind of know a little bit about the law, paralegal. Okay, so what's going on here? So Sean Diddy Combs allegedly paid Instagram model Jade a monthly stipend for S work. Rodney Little Rod Jones amended $30 million lawsuit claims. So the lawsuit obtained by Page Six claims the Bad Boy Records founder also employed City Girls rappers Young Miami and Daphne Jones as S workers, and alleged that a female accountant named Robin Greenhill issued the payments. Upon information and belief, defendants Lucian charge is in his capacity as CEO of UMG, authorized Motown Records and Universal Music Group to provide financial resources to defendants Sean Combs and Love Records through wire transfers to defendants Sean Combs and Love Records accountant Robin Greenhill. The lawsuit reads. So, see, this is what I'm trying to talk about right here. Young Miami allegedly was getting 300 to 400 or 500K a month. And if she wasn't the only one, and the going rate for said work is $500,000 in 1 month or 300,000 or two, that's a lot of money. And these are the ones that we know of so far. We know of 3. Can Diddy alone, even as a billionaire, keep pumping out just for 3 people $1 million to $2 million plus a month, and nobody else is helping fund this thing? You see that it says that it was authorized for Motown and Universal Music Group financial resources to defendants. They're trying to play in our face. There's other people that was benefiting. And listen, I don't care if you take vitamins, you on a plant-based diet. And listen, Diddy don't look like he is, but I'm just saying, I don't care if you're on a plant-based diet, you take vitamins and you drink water, because we know this man was hooked on substances. How long can you last every day to be having relations with all of these girls? Other people were benefiting. It's just that mansion on Star Island in Miami and all his other properties, they were big enough and had enough space and room that all these parties can happen over there. Everybody could come to Star Island. It's secluded, it's private, and we ain't going to have a lot of people in our business. The finances came, according to Rodney, right there. Now, real Rodney worked there for a year and told all the darn business. Upon information and belief, Ms. Greenhill ensured the wiring funds, transfer, or cash payments to ex-workers were completed. Reps for Young Miami didn't immediately return page 6 request for comment. Greenhill also did not return our request for a comment. See, here's the other thing. This is why Diddy hasn't been arrested yet. At the end of the day, his name is flown around for everything. But when you think about it, his hands didn't touch much. The wire transfers came from the accountant. You see, people will sell their money to the devil for to the devil for some money. They'll sell their soul to the devil for some money. The accountant did the transfers. Diddy's lawyer could say, listen, he a billionaire. I don't know who was sending where money was going and not going. Who authorized her to pay these people? I don't know. And then the money wasn't coming directly out of his account. Do you see there? It said Motown or whatever, and the money was transferred. The finances for this thing. While she hasn't directly addressed Jones' claims, one of them said has continued to post regularly to her Instagram stories. Young Miami, meanwhile, posted a cryptic video Wednesday, dancing while singing lyrics, "These hoes can't F with me." The recent one first made headlines with Combs 54 when the pair was spotted kissing in December 2022, just days after the father of 7 announced the birth of his daughter, Love, whom he shares with Dana Tran. Joy, meanwhile, faced mockery from her ex, 50 Cent, who reacted on Instagram to her name being included in the lawsuit. I didn't know you was an S worker. You a little S worker, LOL. 50 Cent 48 wrote on Instagram Wednesday, alongside with 2 photos of him smoking a cigar in the rain. Yo, this stuff is a movie, and it is a movie. The OnlyFans model 37 and the 21 Questions rapper dated for 1 year in 2011 and went on to welcome their son Sire together. Although Joy hasn't directly addressed the allegations, she did share a message to social media suggesting she was turning to her faith to get her through this difficult time. Thank you, God, for your love, she wrote above a scenic footage of lush mountains. Of course, Combs, his attorneys, and everybody denies it, and whatever the case may be. Listen, guys, this is Diva talking. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. You could tell me your theory. They're throwing out smoke screens. They're trying to distract us. This operation allegedly was huge. It was deep. It was big. The money, did you see that? The finances, according to Little Rodney, was coming from the record companies. And then the accountant was paying the people. Diddy didn't want to pay lawsuits. He didn't want to come up off of money for lawsuits, and he was a whole billionaire. You think he's going to fund 6 and 7 girls at $300 to $500K a month, all out of his money? He was too cheap for that. Because if he wasn't, the minute Cassie came with her lawsuit and the people saying they was only fighting a difference of $10 million, he would have gave it to her just so when it came out. But the cheap bastard, he didn't want to give it to her. So he called the bluff, and now look at what's going on in his life. If you're connecting with me, you're connecting with me. If you're not, you're not, and it's okay. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let's have a conversation. What are your thoughts here? They're throwing up smoke screens. Other people are involved, and we need to stop the games and start issuing raids and everything for all of these other people that are involved. They said the bankroll, the finances came from the record company. What record company you know is just going to keep giving me money to do whatever I want to do, and they not involved or they not benefiting? We're going to talk about it, people. Listen, chat with me. I will chat back. Hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video. It's a circus right now. Don't get distracted by the clowns. Don't get distracted because you like cotton candy and they coming by and giving it to you for free along with the popcorn and the soda. Push all that aside. Go through the smoke. Go through the smoke. Go through the smoke and see what's really good. I'll see you on the next video.